Shabbat Shalom, thank you for joining me for another week. Big life hack about to happen, so stick with me. We're learning in this week's Parsha about coming to the land of Israel, and then all of a sudden we have to give our first fruits to God, basically to the temple, to give of ourselves over. And everyone's like, what an egotistical God you have. Why does God need your stuff? What's going on here? Why is God telling you to give him stuff? He's God. He should have everything, right? It seems like a logical question. But actually we learn a lot from psychology, because it seems to be what's happening is that humans really can only love themselves. That's it. You can only love yourself. So how do you love other people, or how do you do things for other people and love them? You have to put yourself in the other people, so you're in them, so you can love them. So by giving to others, you are now inside of them, so now you could love them, because you can only love yourself. But guess what? I'm inside of this person. So when you give to God, it's actually creating a situation where now I could love God because I've given to you, because I'm inside of you, God. A lot of relationships in the world where people just get and get and get all the money, all the things they want, and they end up getting disenfranchised. They're like, I don't even want this stuff. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. But you're getting, you don't see that I love you, I'm giving you. No, I can't see it, really. Because the only way to really love or appreciate is when you're in that thing. So you have to give to love, which is really interesting. Makes total sense that the Hebrew word ahava, love, the root word is hav, give, because there is no love without giving, which is why you could even love the whole world. Why? I could pray for the whole world. I put myself in the whole world. Time is money. I gave the whole world my time. I prayed for the whole world. I have a piece of me inside the whole world. I can now love the whole world. This is a super life hack on how to be able to love people properly, how to accept love properly. It's just about giving. So when God's telling us to give him something from us, don't get so triggered and be like, what does God need from me? It's not for God. It's for you. Because it's in your best interest to love God. Because when you fill yourself up with the love of God, it changes your whole entire reality. You can't really get there without giving to God. It's kind of counterintuitive to the American capitalistic system of thinking, but it works. Let's dive right in and figure out something I think is unbelievable. Very quick, so you can bear with this one. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, Parshat Ki Tavo, in memory of my father, Shimshon ben Shalom, Deuteronomy 26, 1-2. When you enter the land that your God Hashem has given you as a heritage, and you possess it and settle it, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil, which you harvest from the land that your God Hashem has given you, put it in a basket, and go to the place where your God Hashem will choose to establish the divine name. Obviously, that location ends up being Jerusalem, which is hinted to in this verse many times over. If you want to find out, you can reach out to me. But basically, you come to Israel, settle the land, make something, give it to God. Regarding this first fruit of the soil, called Reshit, let us look at the below medrash. When we see the word Reshit, it's talking about your first fruits, as we just read. And there's a verse in Exodus teaching us that the beginning, which is Reshit, of the first fruits of the land. So there's a verse to teach us the connection between first fruits and Reshit, to always teach you when it says Reshit, it's talking about your first fruits. However, we see another interpretation of the Medrash for what Reshit can mean. Through the Reshit, Hashem created the heavens and the earth. And Reshit means Torah, as it says in the book of Proverbs. The Lord created me at the beginning, Reshit, of his course as the first of his works of old. So the Torah is saying, I was created at Reshit. I was created at the beginning of the old works. So we see Torah and Reshit are also synonymous. They go together. Okay, so first fruits is called Reshit, Torah is called Reshit. If both Torah and the first fruit offerings are both called Reshit, we must understand what the connection they have to each other and what we can learn from that connection between them. And we can say that the intention here can be learned from the following teaching of the sages. So we're trying to find out what's going on between first fruits and Torah. We're going to look into some sages and find out, and it's something beautiful we read right now. Whoever brings a gift to a Torah scholar, it is though he has presented first fruits. First of all, first fruits was a huge commandment only in the times of really the temple, where we had the capital in Jerusalem, and we're bringing our first fruits to God. This is a huge commandment, and you're telling me I can actually fulfill it? I could step into that karmic realm just by giving a gift to a Torah scholar? What's going on here? So we see that someone who helps support someone who is learning Torah, it is as if he or she is bringing the first fruits in temple times, which is why we can call the first fruits by the name Reshit, since the Torah is called Reshit, and included in that are the people that study the Torah. And we know that supporters of Torah are as if they are learning it themselves, and can also be called Reshit. So we see that Torah is really called Reshit, nothing else. And it's also supporting Torah is called Reshit, because supporting Torah is as if you're learning Torah. So your first fruits, which is actually going to the temple, which is going to Torah scholars, is supporting Torah, and we know supporting Torah is like learning Torah, and we know Torah is called Reshit. So that's the geometric, mathematical formula going on over here. And behold, just like Torah and the first fruits are called Reshit, so too the children of Israel are called Reshit. Whoa, a third Reshit pops up. The children of Israel are called Reshit, as is taught by the sages of Israel. It says in Vayikra Rabbah, Rabbi Bar Chaya says, the heavens and the earth were only created in the merit of Israel. As it's written, in the beginning, Bereshit, the first word of the Torah, Bereshit, God created. And it says over there, and there is no Reshit outside of Israel, as we could see below. It says in Jeremiah 2:3, Israel was holy to the Lord, the first fruits of his harvest. We're called the first fruits of God's harvest. All who ate of it were held guilty. Disaster befell them, declares the Lord. So basically, this is the first fruit of God is Israel, which is not a race or a genetic thing. It's a reality. It's an identity, because you can graft into Israel. Israel is a nation of peace and love from thousands of years ago, and we're here to help fix the world. So we're not just here to enjoy ourselves. There's a purpose here. I'm not trying to sound, as an elite. Oh, Israel's better than everyone. It's not about that. Everyone could join Israel. Everyone could be part of Israel. But we're very serious what Israel stands for. It stands for the liberation and love and freedom of humanity. Based on this, we can give a lovely reason why the Torah begins with an enlarged letter bet, a big bet, as the Hebrew letter bet is actually a 3-letter acronym made up of the letters bet, yud, and tav. So the letter bet itself, the word for bet, is actually 3 letters. And we're saying those 3 letters are an acronym. Bet stands for Bikurim, your first fruits. Yud stands for Yisrael, Israel. And the Tav stands for Torah. So we see the 3 things that are called Reshit are actually embedded in the first word of the Torah, Bet Reshit, Ber Reshit. These 3 things are called Reshit. It's just so deep. I don't know if we could even grasp how deep the Torah is. And that's why we say there's 70 layers, 70 faces to the Torah. Is it just looks like a word, but no. We can give a half-hour discourse on why this one letter is a little bit larger than the rest of the other letters before this word, the first word of the Torah. It's actually mind-blowing. This was a document that couldn't have been made by man. This was intelligent design from a whole nother reality that we can't ever understand. This alludes to the reality that everyone from Israel must either be a Yisasar or a Zavulun, which is either learning Torah or supporting those that learn Torah. And both of those categories are called Reshit, as the study of the Torah and the supporting of the study of the Torah is both called Reshit, because we already know that supporting Torah study is as if you are learning it yourself. This is a super, super, super life hack out there. I hedge my bets, and I play them both. I'm looking for the guys I can support to learn, and I'm trying to study myself. And if you're looking for guys to support Torah study, I know them. You could reach out. Stay strong. Over and out. Shabbat Shalom.